Welcome, gamers from around the globe. You've dropped into the best place for Game Pass news. That's right, it's the Game Pass Tracker Show. This is episode 142, recorded live February 29th. That's right, this day only happens once every 4 years, and here we are. I'm Nick Metzger here with the best dang co-host a guy could ever have. That's right, he's right next to me. His name is Mr. Sean Abbott. We're gonna fill your brains with all this week's bits and bobs of Xbox. Like, is there gonna be a white digital Series X? We don't know, but there's sure a lot of rumors about it, so why not talk about it? More layoffs? Rough stuff. And Playdead releases some real good screenshots of their upcoming games. You better sit down, buckle up, because Game Pass Tracker Show is one crazy ride. That was a rough intro. I don't know what was going on there, man.
What is up, everyone? I'm just jesting. You know, everything is fine. We have we forever have gremlins, but we're always trying to beat them down. You know. So anyway, welcome to today's show. We just wanted to welcome you to your favorite Xbox Game Pass podcast, the Game Pass Tracker Show. You can find us on pretty much every social networking app that is out there. It is at Just Game Pass Tracker. If you have any thoughts or questions, don't hesitate to shoot us an email. You can do by emailing us at show@gamepasstracker.com. And if you're liking what you're hearing and you would love to leave us a review, please go and do so on your podcast app of choice. You'll have seen on our X recently that we've asked you to do that. And as I rightly said, if you leave the review, yes, Rex, if you leave the reviews, we will read them out on air in our live show. And we wouldn't be a Game Pass Tracker Show if we didn't talk about the Big Daddy itself, Xbox Game Pass. If you love Game Pass and you love our show and you want to show us any support, head to the link in the description and sign up to Game Pass. And over on the Xbox.com website. You'll not only be supporting us, the Game Pass Tracker Show, but you'll also be signing up to the best gaming subscription going, Xbox Game Pass. You sign up to whatever level you desire, whether that be PC Game Pass, Core, or Game Pass Ultimate. Just play your own way.
Hey, Sean,
by using the code in our chat or show notes and help us create this awesomeness this content that you love.
Yeah,
our amazing fans.
Right here.
I will apologize for all the squeaks. You'll probably find out about this as we go through the show, but we are looking after a dog at the moment, and he has chosen this very moment to sit right next to me and play with his squeaky toy. So, without
why the hell did you give
without
that
much
dog
more
a squeaky
squeaking
toy?
I have no idea. But let's head into Game Pass headlines to talk about what games are coming out.
To the headlines. I tell you, it's worse than like a baby. It's like a furry baby that you give like I don't know, some kind of instrument that parents shouldn't do. First rule of parenting.
So well, we the thing is that we wanted him to feel welcome, so we bought him 2 toys for when he got here. So he feel.
So you did, and one was a squeaky toy.
Really welcome and happy, and he is very welcomed and happy. He's just also choosing the 20 past 1 in the morning, or half past 1 in the morning in the UK, that he wants to chew it, sat right next to him. He had literally, other than a little bit before we started, he hasn't touched them for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So I thought, he'll be chilling out. No.
Yeah.
Anyways, come back to staring at shadows on the wall.
He's got
let's go.
Okay, sorry. Let's go. Hey, it's Game Pass headlines, and that's where normally we don't talk about dogs. No, we talk about what's been out on the Game Pass machine. What's been out on the Game Pass machine starting February 27th. It's Maneater. It's out everywhere. It's a return game, a single-player action RPG set in the Gulf Coast, unforgiving waters. Fight to survive in the open ocean, swamps and rivers with danger lurking at every depth. Your only tools are your wits, your jaws, and an uncanny ability to evolve as you feed. What I love about this description is it totally doesn't talk about that you play as a shark. There you go. I feel like that's a bit.
I'm gonna say It just brushed over all of that.
Yeah. I feel like whoever wrote this was like, hell, you play as a shark? I didn't even know that. Anyways, moving on. Madden NFL 24 is now, or as of February 27th, if you have EA Play, out on the cloud. Ultimate members can start their season with the Xbox Cloud Gaming on February 27th, 2024. Courtesy of EA Play, don't forget that until March 8th, you'll also score an Ultimate Team Supercharge pack with your membership. On February 28th, also out everywhere, Indivisible, making your return to the Game Pass library. Oh, I didn't realize this was a return game. Immerse yourself in a fantastical world with dozens of playable characters, a rich storytelling experience, and gameplay that's easy to learn but difficult to master, with a huge fantasy world to explore and a variety of characters to meet and fight alongside. Help Ajna learn about herself and how to save her world. And now tomorrow, Friday, Space Engineers, or today, if you space travel or time travel like Sean. Space Engineers out everywhere. February 29th, a sandbox game about engineering, construction, exploration, and survival in space on planets. Players build spaceships, wheeled vehicles, space stations, planetary outposts, and of various sizes, and use civil and military pilot ships and travel through space to explore planets and gather resources to survive. That is one damn sentence. Who writes these freaking things? Featuring
what's brilliant is
go
just to clear it up is that's out now. Not tomorrow. Now is the 29th. There is 29 days in February this year.
Yeah, that's right. I effed that up. My bad. You're totally right. My bad. That's not
never
out
work
Friday.
with
That's
animals or never work with animals or children.
That's right. Yeah. or men who act like children. Featuring both creative and survival modes, there is no limit to what can be built, utilized, and explored. That's just what's out this week. Sean, what's out next week?
So the only game that is out next week, and it is the only game that is out next week, which is quite sad considering the amount of games we've just had. Warhammer 40k Bolt Gun, that's coming to Cloud, console, and PC March 5th. So load up your bolt gun and unleash the awesome Space Marine arsenal to blast your way through an explosion of sprites, pixels, and blood in a perfect blend of Warhammer 40,000 frenetic gameplay and the stylish visuals of 90s retro shooters. Nice. A lot of hype for this that's building on the interweb. So definitely want to give that a go when it drops. It'll be the first Warhammer game I've played for a very, very long time.
Yeah, I will definitely give it a go as well. Diablo 8 is coming to Game Pass. Don't forget, March 28th, so we still got a ways to wait, but it will be there. Also, if you're like me, and excited about those cozy, crafty, farmy games, Lightyear Frontier is coming on March 19th, so that's coming up real soon. And we just got word that in 2024, Age of Mythology, a new version of Age of Empires, is coming to Game Pass. So that's exciting. We don't entirely know when in 2024, but we do know that it is coming. That dropped, I believe, this last week-ish, maybe a little bit more than a week. But anyways, so what is leaving, Sean? Well, I guess left. What's left?
So for me, if you're watching this live right now, you've got like a few hours to play these games before they drop off the system. If you're listening to this, sorry, unfortunately that has missed, but stay tuned for next week or check out our X channel at Game Pass Tracker, and you'll probably see when the next lot of games or what games are leaving next. But for now, what is leaving February 29th is Madden NFL 22. That's leaving the console and PC via EA Play, and Soul Hackers 2. That's leaving everywhere. So that's cloud, console, and PC.
And as Sean said, as I always say, if you're interested in these games, you have until February 29th. So depending on where you are in the world, you have either no hours, or I think the most would be like 7 or 8 hours to play it or beat it or buy it. Remember, if you buy it, you get 20% off with your Game Pass sub. So there you go, folks. Yep. Sean, what do you think about the games that dropped this week? Game that is coming out next week?
So I'm intrigued for Warhammer. I want to give that a try. It's the whole 90s retro style gaming thing that's drawn me in. So I want to try just to see how they picture that or how they capture that. Other than that, I have been too suckered into the Fortnite to even pay attention to what came out this week. So I will apologize massively. But that has, whenever I have loaded the Xbox up, that has just been my absolute focus.
We play what we love, man. No reason to apologize. Yeah, I agree. I'm into a little bit of Warhammer. I'll be interested to play some Space Engineers. I have not got to play any of that today. To be honest, I legitimately, like, all day thought that was coming tomorrow. So I may have rearranged my day a bit to get at least an hour or so in, so I could have chatted about it a little bit if I would have realized that it would drop today. So there you go. I have downloaded Indivisible because I actually would like to try that. I believe it's a turn-based game, but there's something about the art style, and I don't know, something about it. I just want to try it. So see if I can get along with it. And so yeah, I'm excited for what's out. Do you think we're gonna get a drop of games, like a surprise drop next week, or is it just you think it's just gonna be one, like a surprise? You know how they do.
I don't know. I reckon we'll get the placard of games, and there'll be some on there that were like, "Hey, we didn't know about that," and then there'll be some that we were like, "Hey, we were expecting that."
Yeah,
but it'd be nice. It'd be nice for a surprise.
Yeah, I do agree. Every once in a while, especially this year more than others, they're dropping. What was the game? We got like a, as you call it, a placard of games, and then there was like a surprise game that wasn't on that placard. Do you remember that? It was like, Dead Island 2. That was it.
Dead Island 2, yeah, that was the one.
Yep, it was not on that. It was not on that list of games, and so this year they've done that a couple times, and more. They don't normally do that, or they haven't normally been doing that in years past. So I don't know. You never know. Maybe you just get a surprise drop. And I'm with you. It also shocks me sometimes where I'm like, why didn't you guys space this out? Like if the only game is Warhammer next week, why? I mean, you didn't have to drop. These aren't like day and date games. Like, so 2 of these games are returned this week. Like, why weren't you like, let's save that one for next week to kind of space it out a bit? I don't know. I'd love to know Xbox's Game Pass's thought on how they make those decisions, or I don't know how much control.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of it as well as these are completely different genres of games with different gameplay styles, different art styles. So are they kind of dropping a lot of different games to kind of appease many different people all at once?
Yeah, that makes sense. I get that. Anything else on Game Pass headlines before we head into the X feed?
No, let's roll into the X feed and talk about some of the top stories, news bulletins, and cover our feature story for this week.
And we're here at the X feed where we do all those things that Sean just said. Starting with something that I was very excited to see. Playdead releases screenshots of their upcoming game. Playdead released the Limbo and what is it? Space. What is the other one?
Inside.
Thank you. Limbo and Inside, which Sean and I both loved. And these screenshots look just like they came from, they're like the next successor of Limbo and Inside. They look creepy and fun and alive, and I just can't wait. Are they in space? Is he in a spacesuit? It looks like he's in a spacesuit.
It looks like he's in a spacesuit, but I don't know if they have like cars on space in the first image.
That's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, I'm super excited, guys. They do say it's a third-person science fiction adventure set in a remote corner of the universe. So it could be that you're on a planet without a breathable atmosphere.
Sure. And this is new, right? I mean, third person is new. I mean, they've always been 2D side scrollers.
That is massively correct. I also love the fact that they have only called this to everybody game free. They haven't like even teased a title, just game free.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm excited for this.
And it'll be the first. Wow.
It'll be the what?
It'll be the first game in like 8 years.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I hope I can't wait to get to hear more about it and when it's coming out and a title and what we're actually doing. The screenshots, I love it. Sometimes you see screenshots and you're like, oh, I don't know that, I'll need to know more to know. But I see this and I'm like, I see Inside and Limbo in it, and I'm just like, yes, please. I'll just, yep. I'm in. I will play this. So very excited. Next up, Deck 9, EA Games, and PlayStation all announced cuts of different amounts and percentages. Man, this is, nobody's free of the unfortunate layoffs in the tech sector, specifically the video game sector, right now. This is rough. I mean, I feel for these people because we see numbers and we like to talk about like, oh, look at Xbox did this and PlayStation did that and blah blah blah. But man, these are people's lives and stuff. So I mean, it's tough. But it doesn't matter who you are, whether you're big or you're small. It seems like everybody is cutting jobs and their workforce to try to, I would imagine, keep the budget above the float line. So I don't know. What do you think, Sean?
Yeah, I'm just reading through now, like the different numbers of them and the reasonings for why they're closing them. So we'll start with Sony. Sony are laying off 900 jobs, which makes up their 8%. With PlayStation London studio will close entirely as part of these layoffs. So it's not like they're just losing a few people from that office space. It is literally an entire studio in London that is going to just disappear. So, and there's not really any explanation as to why. No, they're not saying that, oh, we're doing this because of overheads and things like that. They just like, this is happening. We probably won't know why for a while.
Yeah.
So EA are the other one, like you said, they're laying off 5% of its workforce, and that's roughly equates to about 670 employees. The only thing they have said, EA's CEO Andrew Wilson has been cited for saying this is accelerating industry transformation. So, as part of the decision for the company planning to sunset games and move away from the development of future licensed IPs, which it believes probably won't be successful. So, not only are they getting rid of 670 employees, but they're also stopping development of certain games that they might have had going on, which we may or may not have about, and they're going to close them down as well.
Yeah, I find this interesting. Andrew Wilson goes on to say, the greater focus from here on out will be on its own owned IP, sports, and massive online communities. So they're getting rid of licensed IPs. Was EA Star Wars? I think they were.
Yes, I think for the.
I think they still. I think they shared the IP license now, but I believe that they still had the ability to make them. So I wonder if that's part of this.
Star Wars. I'm just looking at the BBC now. 13 hours ago, the BBC made a report. Star Wars game cancelled as EA cut 670 jobs.
Okay, dang! I really didn't see that article.
So the Respawn's Star Wars first-person shooter is cancelled.
I'm sorry, Bruce. Sorry.
Yeah, we do. No right to upset Bruce. Bruce is awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, that stinks. And it's owned IP, sports, and massive online communities. So that means the single-player game fans, shall not be looking at EA Sports for fun new titles, I would say, unfortunately.
Yep.
And then the other one, Deck 9.
Deck 9 is another 900 layoff, which equates to 20% of its entire workforce, which obviously a smaller developer than EA and a smaller company than Sony. Deck 9 we have them to thank for Life is Strange and a Telltale series called The Expanse. but yeah, there's just all they say is like many other game industries right now, Deck Nine has been affected by the game industry's worsening market conditions. So today we have made the difficult decision to lay off 20% of our staff. These people are amazing, talented, and awesome developers, and they've made a huge impact during our time at Deck Nine Games. We did not make this decision lightly. Please hire these people if you can. They are amazing.
I love that. I think that's amazing. That's a really cool statement.
Yeah.
But it's got to be tough,
it's
right?
Just it's sad that, yeah, it's going to be tough. You've got to make that decision. I mean, you've got amazing, talented people working for your development company, and you want to continue to help them and nurture them and strengthen their talents. But at the same time, if you were to do that, then business wise, it's not a great decision. So you've got to make that awful decision of what do we do? Do we cut the jobs and hopefully scrape it through, or continue to do what we do?
Yeah, it's a roller. It's kind of a roller coaster of just like, you got to hire to ramp up for these jobs, and then when the market changes, it's I work in construction, and when the market changes and the jobs go down, we're gonna see the same thing in construction. Like right now, it's all pretty rolling in the housing market, but when that stops, it's gonna be the same. And no industry is free and clear of these kind of roller coaster cuts. But you do feel for these guys of like, yes, please hire them, but now they're in a market with 7,000 people who have been cut or something like that in this year between Microsoft and all the other announcements. That's a tough place to be right now. So I wish them all the best.
It's a tough place to be, but it's also an opportunity for those developers that have got enough skill and understanding and probably contacts in the industry to turn around and be like, you know what, I've always had this idea to make this game. Yep. I want to go make this game. And the opportunity that not the opportunity, but there's also always that possibility of the game that they decide to make could be an absolute gangbuster of a game, and it turns their life right around again. So
yep, yeah, that's a great glass half full way to look at it, Sean. Interesting fact: playing Sea of Thieves on your PS5 will still mean you need a Microsoft account to play, which I don't think that's super surprising. I think we kind of already saw this. It doesn't mean
I love it.
Gonna need, yeah, I think it's great. I 100% agree. I don't think it's anything odd, right? When you play Ubisoft games, you need an Ubisoft account, even if you're on Xbox or whatever you're on. Now I know Ubisoft doesn't have hardware, so it might feel a little different, but it's still the same as that, really. So yeah.
Yep. So and I think this is brilliant that it's Sea of Thieves that's titled for this, because it's like, Microsoft have managed to get themselves logged into a Sony account. So you've got to link the two together. It's a bit of piracy, here we are, we're boarding you.
I love it. Yeah, and it's just, and now they have a little bit of access, right, to players that they maybe didn't have access to before. And so yeah, I think it's cool. It is the strategy that Microsoft's taking. Go ahead.
Yeah, so there's no way around it, and ultimately anyone who does end up playing on PlayStation will likely be factored into Microsoft's gaming data going forwards, because you're playing a Microsoft game even if you're playing it on a PlayStation. So of course it's not just for the sake of it, as highlighted by Steven Tortillo of GameFile. Linking a Microsoft account and logging in allows users to access multiple cross-platform benefits, including invitations, crew, voice chat, and shared progression. So,
yep, nice. Yeah. All right. That is our top stories. 2 news bulletins. 1, Palworld has a new update inbound. So for all of you people who are still playing Palworld, and actually I think it's not inbound anymore. I think it's landed, if I'm correct. I think it's here. Major fixes are that it implements backup save data on world selection screen, resolves issue of unnecessary data accumulating, adds keyboard support, and modifies selection of guild members. And then there is a long list of other things that it does that get pretty minute, but I'm sure are very important to people who are stuck with them right now. That's kind of how those things work.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm just looking through the base issues because most of those are quite a difficult thing to work around. Well, stuck in some space. Have measures to prevent the issue of base pals getting stuck in the farm. So yeah, it looks like it's a lot of graphical issues where people would they'd get stuck in places and things like that.
Yeah. So good on them to continue to update it. I mean, they've had massive success out. I mean, it had not just within the video game industry. I mean, their success has leaked outside of the normal video game journalism podcasting sphere. I mean, I'm reading about it when I go to Yahoo now. Whenever I start seeing stuff on like just the random Yahoo page of like, hey, have you heard about this game and it's like this and blah blah blah. It's like, oh wow, okay, that's gotten bigger. I don't have to go and find it on my X feed or on a news site somewhere. Nope, it's now made it out into the general public news. So good on them.
Yep.
Remedy purchased full control of the Sorry, I just realized how I needed to read this. Remedy purchases the full IP rights for Control from 505 Games. Okay. So the game Control was the IP rights were shared between 505 Games and Remedy, and now Remedy owns the full rights to the Control game. So I would imagine if they bought it, they have a plan on how they're going to use that franchise, which will be exciting. I did look both of these up, Sean, because I really thought Remedy was an Xbox studio. Not an Xbox studio. Closely works with them, but not an Xbox studio. So there you go.
Yep. 17 million euros it costs to buy the rest of the rights to the game.
Yeah, it would depend on how much they don't say how much they owned, right? So that's the part that's like, is that 50% of the IP, or did they own like 80% and they just had to buy out like 20 or something like that? Like so they don't really go into what percentage they didn't own they had to buy out. But yeah, it's interesting, and it's interesting, and on a gamer perspective, the most important thing is to realize that Remedy wouldn't have spent 17 million euros if they didn't have planned to make another one and build out this franchise. So exciting news for Control fans. They're definitely getting another one.
Yep.
Feature story time. 100 days until the June showcase, and the rumor mill be churning already like a white digital Series X on the way and all kinds of fun stuff. What are we going to see? What's going to be there? So I am hoping that this white digital Series X is true, because I've said before I want it and I will buy it. Actually, I want the cylinder one that they showed that we saw on the document, the FTC document leak. That's the one I really want, but I'll take what I can get. And as long as it's not the same size. It better not be the same size as a regular Series X, because then that's pretty lazy. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if you're going to take the whole disk drive out, you can free up, like, I think the image that's in the thumbnail for the show it shows what the digital Series X could look like. So if you're removing the disk drive section at the bottom, you could like shrink it down and make it not as tall.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I want. I mean, if they can make it like half its size, then I am probably in to buy it, because I'm a lazy bastard and I don't want to have to move cords to play down here. So that would be great. I'd have one upstairs and one downstairs, and I wouldn't have to flip stuff around. Not that I mean, I literally bought a power cord and a video cord. So all I literally have to do is unplug two things and plug them in. I don't even have to move the cords, but whatever. It is what it is. I own my laziness. But yeah, I would totally buy it as long as it's shrinked. And is it going to be cheaper? It's going to be cheaper, right? Tell me it's cheaper. It's got to be cheaper.
They say because you're losing the disc aspect of it, that it's going to be like £50 to £100 cheaper.
I want 100. 100 sounds better than 50, but I'll take what I can get. And also understand this is all rumor mill stuff, folks. None of this has come out of an official Xbox channel. This is all stuff that we have picked up from various places on the interwebs. Okay, so just understand that. Now, off of the white Xbox rumor mill onto what do you think Microsoft will show at the June showcase, knowing what they've shown you so far and, with the last showcase, how they laid that out?
I think we're going to start to see a timeline and catalog of the AVK games.
Yeah.
So, I think we're going to see that. I also think we're going to see maybe a step into the mobile game era a little bit with them having King, the developers of Candy Crush. I think we're going to start seeing mobile games, not like Candy Crush, but we're going to see Xbox themed mobile games start to appear.
Mm-hmm. Sean, I'm going to die on this hill. It's probably not coming, but I'm literally I will plant my flag here and die on it. The family Game Pass subscription. I hope we see that, and I will say, as I wither and die on this hill, if we don't see it this year, I don't think we ever see it. I think they if we don't see it this year, I think they tested it and they said, "Oh shit, we've lost way too much money. We can't do this." And so they've scrapped it. At best they went back to the drawing board and said, we have to figure out another way to do this because we've lost too much money. But I really hope we see it at this June showcase. So
yeah, I mean it makes sense. Nintendo do it with the NSO. You can have a family plan with that where you can share it. I find it really useful. It means that Logan has the back catalog of games. And Emily does, and I do, and Jaya does, and I've got the ability to share it with two other friends. So,
I think we'll get a full rollout, a big showcase of the Great Circle. I just leave my brain. What's
the Indiana Jones game?
Thank you, the Indiana Jones game. I think we'll get a real big showcase of the Indiana Jones game. I wonder if we're at a point yet. Well, we saw Fable last showcase, and it was some in-game play. So I would be shocked if we didn't see a little bit more of Fable. I mean, I'm not saying it's coming this year. I think we'll be lucky. I think I would be gleeful if we got it at the end of next year, to be honest.
Yeah. I think we're going to see some flight simulator DLCs.
Yeah.
Did they ever do a Halo version?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They've had a handful of the Halo ships come out.
So I was going to say there's some Halo stuff just with the Halo series being out, but whether or not they give you some more, who knows? But yeah, we're going to see some flight simulator stuff, probably some Forza Motorsport stuff, DLC wise.
Are we far enough away from Infinite single player campaign to be expecting another Halo? I mean, again, when I say expecting another Halo drop, I don't mean like the game's coming this year, but to be expecting some announcement of a Halo game coming in the next 2 years or something like that.
You'd like to think so. They haven't done one for a while. It was like Infinite was okay. It was very open world, but they haven't done an original Halo style game for a while. So that might happen.
Yeah, I would. That's a great way to put it, Sean. I would like to think so. I mean, I'd be glad. I loved Infinite. I thought the single player campaign of that was a lot of fun. Obviously, at the end, it was rushed. You could see that. I mean, and it was not as filled in. All those things were very reasonable complaints or observations, whatever you want to call them. But man, if they could take that style and flesh it out a little bit, maybe use the world that they got or assets of the world, be able to make something and build upon that. Man, I think it could be a lot of fun. So I would be all down for another Halo single player. That was legit probably my last like super fun time with a shooter was I when I went through Halo Infinite single player. So yeah.
The thing I liked about Halo Infinite was the grunts, the little tiny grunts. They were so funny.
They were.
And like the propaganda posts that they'd put out about Master Chief, like saying, "Did you know his real name is John?" It's just like, yeah.
Yep. No, yeah, that it was good. And I think that's about all you can hope. I think that's about what we'll see. I mean, it's interesting because they've already laid out the roadmap for first-party games. I don't think they're going to be adding a bunch of stuff that we didn't see or that we don't know about this year. I think they're going to be fleshing out what we know this year, looking towards what we might see in 2025, maybe with some hardware information about this white.
I think we might have
something.
Some controller colors and controller collaborations.
Oh yeah. As always, the design labs. I bet that'll be there for sure. So yeah, that'll be cool. I'd love to say we'd see some digital something or other, but I wouldn't ever. I don't think we're there. I don't think that's where we're at.
No, I think it is as nice as the rumors are for the all white Series X. I don't think it's going to happen. I think they are just people speculating and getting excited. It came about around the time that Nintendo, rumors for the date for March 2025 for the new Switch and stuff like that. So I think it was just let's jump on the bandwagon of people making news.
But consoles. We can take from the Nintendo genre predictors, those who like read the tea leaves and predict and rumor what's going to happen in Nintendo. If they don't release this white Series X, instead of saying, "Hey guys, we were wrong, they didn't release the white Series X," what you say is, Microsoft decided to delay the announcement of the white Series X to 2025. That way you're not wrong. You just get to say, and you just say it over and over, and you're like, "Hey, they're going to release this thing." And then when they don't, you just say, "No, they've decided to delay it until they don't." And then it's just not your fault, It's great. I love it. No, I'm sorry. I'm making jokes off of these rumors of like a Switch 2, and now we're not sure Switch 2 is going to come. And instead of being like, "Hey, we were wrong about Switch 2," they're like, "Hey, they delayed it." Like, I love it. I think it's fantastic. Anyways, that's my soapbox on that. I don't think it's going to be a bad year for the showcase. I think it'll be a banger like it is quite often. We need to get like a podcast picture of all three of us now, Sean. I feel like he's going to be part of the podcast now. I really do.
Yeah. I think he's tired, and I think he just doesn't know what to do with himself. Yeah, pretty much. But I don't think he knows what to do with himself. He's leaning heavier and heavier on me, so I'm sliding down the wall.
I love it. I don't think it's going to be a bad year for the showcase. I just don't think it's going to be interesting. I think we're going to see stuff we already knew about, half of it, and half the stuff is going to be things that are coming out in 2025, probably without dates. And we all know how much I love things without dates. Anything else on the 100 Days to June showcase?
Obviously, I'd like to see Doom. Anything Doom related, I'd be there. I'd be happy.
Obviously.
I mean, our X channel at Game Pass Tracker, they launched "Who Would You Like to Be Your Bodyguard?" And I think they had like Master Chief, Doom Guy, and two others I can't remember. I was like, "Yeah, watch Doom Guy straight away."
I mean, it all depends
He
on what.
probably don't care about me too much, but
Yeah. This is really a squirrel moment, but whatever. It all depends on what weapon he's carrying. Like, if he's carrying the chainsaw, this sounds awful. I don't want him as my bodyguard. Like, I'm gonna feel like all nasty and bloody, and I'll be like, "Thanks, buddy. Thanks for saving my life. Yeah, I got blood and guts all over me, but I really, really appreciate your help." I like. In that case, I'm really not interested in having him as my. I'd rather have somebody that's going to shoot farther away, so that I don't have to like deal with the up close combat. But if
at the same time, you wouldn't want him to be to have the BFG, because all he has to do is trigger that once, and not only then you're not having to worry about being covered in blood and guts. You literally just turn into a pulp of blood and guts. So,
yeah. So I don't know. I think I'd probably go with. I think I'd stick with Master Chief. I think I'd stick with him. So
see, now they're giving him too much of a personality. I think he's getting soft. That's the issue. No, I'm super excited for this week's episode. Last week's episode was banging.
The tables have turned, Sean. It's so funny. Like the first season, I was like, Sean, this is great. Let me tell you, blah, blah, blah. It's fantastic. You're going to have to watch it. And you're like, yeah, I'll get to it when I get to it. And now you're like, Nick, you got to watch this. It's so great. It's amazing. And I'm like, yeah, I don't have Paramount right now. I'll get to it when I get to it. It's so funny.
You can, though. You should have done it. I triggered my 30 days free with the Game Pass perk. So
how many episodes are they in now? Do you know? Do you know off the top of your head?
6.
Oh,
this week will be 6.
They're pretty far in at this point. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe I should. I'm watching Masters of the Air on Apple TV right now, and I'm really liking it. We are way off of the feature story, but whatever. This is definitely party chat talk, not feature story. So, and I'm really loving that. So maybe after that. Anyways, that is all we have for our feature story. We shall move into the dashboard, where we talk about games we're playing and games on our docket to be played real soon. Not real sure what's up with the. I don't know. I don't know. I'll work on it. As I do with all things. Sean, what is on your dashboard?
So what has been on my dashboard? It has been lots of Fortnite. Lots and lots and lots of Fortnite. I have played that now. I have finished all the turtle stuff. I didn't purchase the upgraded pack, so I don't have the shredder skin and stuff like that, but I have done all the phases of Shredder's plan and unlocked the Krang backpack that you can get. I'm trying to get to the point now where I'm claiming the bonus awards. I've hit the 900 V-Bucks again, so I've got enough for the next battle pass when that comes out. I apologize. I'm having my legs and feet washed. But anyway, yeah. So I'm at that point. Stupid. The legs are all.
This is gonna be a learning experience. How to podcast with a dog in the room. It's so fun.
Yeah,
it's great for me. I'm having a great time.
Hopefully by next time. He won't be here next time because we're only babysitting him for now. But hopefully,
yes, for now, folks. Hear this: babysitting for now. I think Rex is coming back. I hate to break. I don't know if I hate to break it to you. I actually really love it. Yeah, I'm excited for the for now part of that. Anyways, moving on.
But yeah, I'm at the point now where I'm trying to get to the bonus parts of the battle pass. So I think after you get to level 100. And then between a level 100 and 200, you unlock different character skins and stuff like that, bonuses quite easily. So I'm in the process of doing that. There's always new quests and stuff to do every day. So there's a mosaic quest at the moment where you're collecting mosaic tiles and researching different areas and things like that. So every time I jump on, there's different quests to do, which is helping me boost the XP boost to do things. So but I'm kind of stuck. I'm trying to play it ranked solo, and I'm kind of stuck between gold level 2 and gold level 3. I keep like bouncing between them, because like in gold level 2, I'm okay. I can get a couple of eliminations, and I can get like to maybe like 6th or 5th place. But then like in gold level 3, I am struggling to get into the 75s and stuff like that, and even take somebody out. It's like a completely different tier of people that I'm playing with. So
sweet. What else you got going on?
not fun. Super Mario Bros. Wonder. So I realized that I hadn't yet done all the got all the gold flags, done all the purple coins, and done all the like extra wonder seeds and stuff like that. So I I went back and went through everything. I got all the wonderful flags. I got all the purple coins. I got all the wonder seeds. I did all the challenges. Did all this, and I've now unlocked the very, 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 very final level in this special area where it's you've got to run through every single badge, and there is checkpoints, but they're like every 4 badges, I believe, and it's very difficult.
Yeah, I want to get to this level. You mentioned this game. To be honest, I somewhat kind of forgot about this game, and I was like, oh yeah, Super Mario Brothers Wonder. And then I was like, wait, did I beat that? Okay, yeah, I did beat it, but I didn't like beat it. You know, like what you're doing right there. I made it through the Bowser's part which is actually pretty easy, to be honest. You don't have to do too much work. So yeah, that's cool. You'll have to keep me updated on how that goes. So I have. Oh, what's on the docket before I move on?
Probably more Fortnite. A lot more Fortnite. Warhammer Bolt Gun. Definitely going to give that a try.
Sure.
I have still got Resident Evil 3 on there to play and stuff like that. But when I loaded it up, I realized I actually own it. So digitally, which is funny. I've got plate ups on there. I've got a little to the left that's sat there waiting to be played. I've got a couple of games that are waiting to be played, but every time I go on it, I'm
sucked right back in.
I'm well and truly suck it in.
Yeah, that's cool. Hey, play what you love at the moment. That's what I say. So speaking of played up, I have played it. I have played it with a couple of adult friends now too. We had a good time. It was fun. I think the roguelite aspect I understand a little bit better. So like you get into this restaurant, and the further you get in a restaurant, the more things you do. You unlock new restaurant layouts. You also unlock new items that you can make. You also unlock a garage with like specialty items. So like you can unlock and you can take 2 specialty items into a restaurant with you. So I've unlocked a plant and something else. And you can go into the garage and you grab these things, and like the plant makes people wait a little bit longer. And I can't. There's a whole list of like items that you can unlock. And so you can take 2 things from the garage and put them on your little like trolley. That is what you take to the restaurant. And when you go to the restaurant, and then you play until you close. And I'm not gonna lie, we haven't made it very far. I think like day 5 maybe is about as far as we have made it. And then it starts getting really hard. I mean, for me, I'm gonna say this game is pretty difficult. Like I'm like, okay, we made it to day 5. I made it to day 5 with a couple of friends. I made it to day 4 with the kids. The kids are actually getting pretty good. We got a system, so I'd like to play with them again. But the game is fun. I feel like it gets a little. It's not a game that you can play for it's not a game that I can play for a ton of long time. Let me put it that way. The roguelite starts to get a little repetitive, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. That's the only Game Pass game I've played. I have played Mario v Donkey Kong with the kids. We bought that, so that's been fun. If you got a Switch and your kids you got a kiddo. Well, even if you don't got a kiddo, if you want to play by yourself or with a spouse or significant other or whatever, it's a fun game. It's a fun game to play that way. On the docket is A Little to the Left and Indivisible, and I might try Warhammer 40K Bolt Gun, or I might just let you try it and then tell me about it. I'm not real sure yet how it's going to roll. We'll see what the week holds for adulting, and then I'll make a decision on that. So yeah, that's me, sir.
Yep. There's no questions or anything in the party chat, and so I don't know if you want to wrap the show up there, or if you want to go in and just talk about how life's been done, or.
I am actually, so let's just call it a day. We gave an hour and 40-minute show last week, and I'm not gonna lie, guys, I'm a touch under the weather, so and I can feel that. Anyways, I'm a touch under the weather, so I'm good with actually making it an early show for today, and we'll catch up to you guys next week.
Cool. Hopefully, we'll have a lot more news as well. There might be
That's true.
a plethora of new games to talk about, new stuff to talk about leaving, and we might be teased between now and then with a few things for the summer showcase, with it been to the century of days to go. So yeah. So if you want to talk to us, you can do our well, my throat's a bit now. You can get hold of us both on X. Mine is Sean _ Abbott. Nick is Nick10 DOH is like Nintendo. If you want to get in touch with our Game Pass Tracker, when you can do that's at Game Pass Tracker. If you want to send us an email, please do so. It's show@gamepasstracker.com. And please go and leave a review, give some stars on the podcast app that you use to listen to the podcast. That's great. And I will read them out loud and proud in the pie chat section when we get them. And until next time, guys, thank you very much for listening, and we will see you later.
See you later, guys.